Trading futures is extremely risky. It's not suitable for all investors, and anything I do or say here today is for educational purposes only. It's not meant as trading or investment advice. Good morning, everybody. Thursday already. Short week here in the U.S. It's flying by. Remember, we do have inventories. Usually inventories are Wednesdays at 10:30 Eastern. Whenever there's a U.S. holiday, it moves to Thursday, typically at 11 a.m. So we've got that today at 11. Similar situation to yesterday because you can see all these levels are the same and whatnot. Nothing's really changed. We've continued to be rotational around this structure that we have here. Yes, we've put in a couple of attempts to hold above 50, but continue to be able to fail. So here we are again, yes, today, but today's order flow is different. Today's buyers are much more aggressive. So for me, still looking for the exact same hypo 1 as yesterday, this move here. That's what we're looking for. Now, this 61.80 to 90 zone right here has capped us for quite some time. So if we continue to see rejection there, we can obviously be rotational within this zone. Very, very similar hypos to yesterday. If we can hold below this area, the first thing we'll see is a hold below 61.40. If we can hold below there, and then especially if we can hold below here, so continue, that is going to be a big time stop run. So with inventories today, that could be huge. But this is my third scenario and least likely in my book. This is my first scenario. This is my second scenario, rotational. So that is what I'm looking at today. That is the trades I will be stalking. Yesterday's trade was pretty cool. The first scenario was the same as today. Break above 50, get the longs, really push higher. But I had a rotational scenario, and I saw something very clear down here by using order flow and different tools that got me in. So these things can exist at the same time. I just want to teach this right quick. You could say, you know what? We're in this range, okay? But I really think the most likely scenario is that we break the range and go higher. But if we are inside the range, where's the best place to get long? Well, my friends, that's from the low end. So if you do get a sell-off and then you get a long opportunity at the low end of the range, that's a wonderful long because that can morph into your first scenario eventually. So ultimately, that's what I did. It wasn't one cohesive trade yesterday, but I got long here. I ended up flattening out, I forget where, somewhere in here probably, because it just wasn't holding above 50, so I got out. But then into the afternoon, into the closing range, we are again holding those 50 levels. So I'm getting long. Got a decent trade. I think I flattened it out once it started to run out of time and not really look good on the tape, around 70 in this area. Buyers are here. Another teaching point. You know, I could be the trader that says, oh man, this always happens. I really missed this hold above my level here for my main hypo for the day. I couldn't execute on it, whatever. Actually, I was busy at the time, so didn't take advantage of this. So what am I doing now? Do I have FOMO? Am I chasing? You know, no. I'm going to wait for my trade. It may not be a pullback to 50, but I have a framework for trading pullback. So right now I'm in a pullback long mode. So any kind of pullback that fits my methodology for getting long, that's what I'm going to be doing. Feeling will not drive my action. Process will. I believe I said it yesterday, but I'll say it again. Um, One of the key benefits of market profile is the way it simplifies information. So when we take a look at, here's the holiday where we opened, and here's the distribution we built. Gap down with value migration lower. Then yesterday, gap down, value migration overlapping to lower. Today, a totally different open type right at the upper edge of value. And now we see the drive. You know, this was something that me and the mentees were talking about on our pre-market call before the open. It's in my pre-market analysis. Another test into XYZ, main spot, this time with a better looking low, which is our overnight low. I think this is a key spot, obviously. We've been talking about it for days. Open type looks to be different today, perhaps back in range and value. I think we were closer to here when I was writing my analysis. So this is different. So to see the drive on the open, it's not something that's surprising at all. This is hypo A. This is most likely. And if you get caught up looking, you know, at just all of these price action charts and all of these things, an open right here is business as usual. It's in the range of all of this stuff. But if you know, different time frames, all this kind of stuff, it didn't really signal to you. But the market profile, it simplifies the information so much, and you focus on price versus value rather than just price on price on price. It's a different way of seeing things, and it really, really can't tell you how much it changed my trading for the better. I do teach market profile. You can go to smbfutures.com and have a look at my market profile course. It's the best information I know that I could possibly share in the world. It's you know, kind of my life's work that I'm putting out there. All right, yesterday's high, 61.86. I'm continuing to see a passive buyer prop this up as sellers start to take control and pull this market down. They are not able to pull it down easily. We've got buy side liquidity propping it up. Just continuing to monitor the sellers pushing us down here, creating this pullback. Right now we're into our brand new RTH VWAP at 94. Fabio, in general, my focus is really on crude. I like the market the best. I like the way it moves. But no, I'll trade S&Ps. I will trade soybeans. But that's definitely 90% of what I do is crude. All right, seeing some buying from yesterday's high that we pointed out, 86 to the tick. Bought some into 94 here. Scaled a little bit for, I guess, 9 cents here. If I draw these circles at the current bar, it continues to extend the drawing to the current bar and the current bar and the current bar. So it's not that if you watch me on prior days, I have to go back and adjust the circles. It's not that I'm adjusting anything about what I did. I just have to fix the circles. Looks like we got that one good. I actually took more off of this trade. Kind of another, I drew that too high, didn't I? So I just took more off it, just about the same price. A bit concerning on the tape here. Most days, I think, I haven't studied this quantitatively, but most days I feel like when you have inventories coming up, it's usually pretty hard to catch a decently fast trend. Usually People are not wanting to stick their necks out in position like that. The huge players leading up into such an important fundamental release. Some more buyers from RTH VWAP. Went ahead and stood aside from the rest of the trade around entry price here. So I am flat. Could find a re-entry lower in the low 80s. So those of us that were having conversations around units of risk, around R values, even some private conversations with the mentees. So this trade for me would be scaled out of 2/3 of the trade for 1R, scratched out of the remainder for nothing. So that is a 0.67R trade. JD, I won't get into all the rules of my process that allow me to scratch out of a trade. But what I will do is tell you this. As you are looking for consistency, as you are trying to grow as a trader, I strongly believe that the first way to operate is with less discretion. Okay, so essentially, you are not allowed to scratch trades as a beginner. You can't scratch a trade because guess what? You have all these fears and doubts and all of this stuff, and it's going to screw you up. It's going to make you get out of good trades too often. So you, in my opinion, you have to earn the right with consistency to be able to scratch trades. So I'm not going to get into the process that allows me to scratch out of my trades. That's not what this webcast is for. You guys are just getting a look into my trading. I don't really like to get into too many details there, but I hope that helps. Daniel, that's absolutely right. Daniel's new to the room, but I like what I hear out of him so far. When people are insistent on scratching out of trades, they don't want to listen to me to not do it at all, I say fine, but we're going to track it. We're going to track how often your scratch puts you in a better position than your original trade plan would have put you in. And we're going to look at how you affect your edge by scratching objectively. All right, got back into the long. Looking to scale into the whole number. This thing's really struggling with RTH VWAP. Took a bit off at 95. It's still taking some off for 2-to-1 at 95. So took more off into 95. Actually, 2/3 out again, just because this is such a pre-inventory crude oil market. All right, got the fill into 99 and even 62. It's really just going to flatten out the trade there for 3R on the last bit. And that's going to be the end of the video today. Going to sit back and see what happens into inventories over the next hour. And if I were to say anything, I think based on what's unfolding, that crude is headed to $64, $65 a barrel. That's just kind of what the charts are showing at the moment. Obviously, that can change in an instant. Inventories can come out and change every bit of that. So take it with a grain of salt, but that's what I'm seeing. And thanks for being here, guys. Welcome all the new people. We'll see you around in the chat throughout the day. Many people want to be traders. They're passionate about markets, but they don't know how to accomplish the goal of being a successful trader. they don't know the path to achieve that goal. And it's easy to want to be a trader, but that doesn't mean it'll be easy to be one. And there's no easy path to any form of greatness, but there is a path. SMB Futures gives traders a way to move their trading forward, a way to rise above all those who try and fail. Whether you're just starting out or an established veteran, we have a place to plug you into our system and keep you moving forward down the right path. Maybe you need to connect with successful traders. Maybe you need training to develop mental toughness or find edge. Maybe you're ready to trade on our team, either remotely or on our New York desk, where you are backed by large amounts of capital, provided with world-class professional technology, where you work with a risk manager that knows you, within a culture of coaching and mentoring, at a firm that takes all the downside risk while encouraging you to become the best version of yourself. For those with the courage to make the journey, SMB Futures is here to move your trading forward.